The thing I love about Denny Hamlin is his willingness to keep learning. Driver of the 11 is very determined right now.
Those are the breaks in sports. Sometimes it just isn't meant to be, and that's one of those situations. He said, Kevin Harvick came up to me and said, in your position, you should be the most hated person.
Kudos to them for giving the cars more horsepower. I don't think anybody will notice. Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR on Fox. I'm Kevin Harvick, just Caitlin Vincey, and our one and only Mamba Smith.
The one and only.
Welcome back.
Already dressed for Phoenix, I see.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to get there.
I had a fan this weekend at the racetrack. You need to tell Slappy to bring it.
You're now being referred to as Slappy by the fans.
Slapstick. Yeah.
Slappy, slapstick, whatever you want to refer to him as.
That's
yeah. I mean, some of the fans do it in an endearing way, and some of them in other places not so endearing.
So do you get slappy or slapstick?
Somebody on Twitter called me slapstick, and I said, I appreciate you, closer, because that means you watch. The only way that you call me slapstick.
The only way you know is if you listen.
So
at least it's not slap dick.
Yeah, it could be slap dick. That'd be way worse.
That would be bad.
Baby face slapstick today. Look at that. Clean shaven.
Oh, he's so cute.
It can go from looking 42 to 22.
Because he was in Mexico, hitting up the mamacitas.
Was it hot down there?
It was
or rainy
weather. No, it didn't rain. Rainy season did not hit us at all. It didn't rain. It was
no kidding.
Just got back from a bachelor party in case people aren't following along.
I was at a bachelor party.
That's fun.
There's 25 of us.
Wow. Did you guys all fly on the same plane?
No, we all got in at different times, but there was 25 of us. Had a great time. I've never been a part of a party like that.
So you're in the wedding if you're at the bachelor. Oh.
No.
You were just there for fun.
They called me because they know.
You're the chief hype officer.
I'm the chief hype officer, so you know you got to call the guy.
Okay.
It was fun. I had a good time.
Did you drink any beer?
Yeah, I did, because the way that they pour the liquor there is not great because we were at an all-inclusive resort.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure they cut the liquor.
Did you get the whistle and the head shake and the tequila shot?
We went to Coco Bongo. It's like this club / Vegas type show. And they're with the whistles and so on.
Whistle.
Dude, they hit me in the face, throw a shot in my mouth, shake my head and bang it off this girl's chest. And I was like, what just happened?
Very aggressive. That's a little much. Just
yeah,
to get
it's a lot. It's a lot.
And you didn't want the shot, did you?
I didn't want the shot. And it burned the whole way down. You got it though. I got the shot and it hurt.
So did you eat the worm?
No, there was no worm in that one.
Oh.
I wouldn't eat the worm.
I got you.
Did you ever eat the scorpion?
No.
Heck no.
Yeah, no.
I love how different our lives are, because I was at a pumpkin patch with my kids.
Yeah.
Kevin was in Vegas, but he was competing. So how was that?
He finally beat Keelan.
He did.
I did. Yeah, Keelan wrecked. Yeah. Yeah, it was a wet, rainy Friday night and
weird.
Thursday
That is
night.
weird.
Yeah, it was a monsoon, and luckily we got it in about 1:30 in the morning.
Really?
Oh,
When
wow.
it ended. Yeah, it was late. So killed the crowd, but was a great event. Had good turnout of cars, and ARCA race was good. So we had good races. But I raced for the lead, and I passed the leader twice. I moved him the first time. First time he got high, got under him, caution came out. Second time I moved him, got by him, caution came out, and third time I didn't get to him. He was Jace Hell was a little bit. He won the race, but he was a little bit better than I was, and I knew that I had to get to his back bumper before he got through turns 1 and 2. Third time I didn't get there.
Couldn't get there. He knew the move.
Top 5 though. Top 5 finish.
Should have finished second, but it got a little dicey at the end and wound up third.
That place is cool.
Yeah,
and you have quite a bit of racing coming up. If you
I do.
Share
Yeah,
with the
this
fans.
weekend we're racing the Cars Tour finale at North Wilkesboro. So we're going to Keelan and I are going to run the Pro Late Model this weekend, and so that's the last race of the Cars Tour season out here on the East Coast, and then we go to run the Super Late Model next week at Kern Raceway in Bakersfield, California, and then the finale for the West Pro Late Models is next month. I think it's the 15th, 14th, 15th, whatever that weekend is. In the Pro Late Model, so 3 more.
Would you like to bring the Cars Tour West to Phoenix? Because I know when you race late models out there, that was a thing. Is it too big?
I think
this
the
point?
track's a little bit too big for those cars. I just think that the way that it's evolved with the straight frame rails, they used to be perimeter cars. So I felt like they're could crash a little bit harder. But I just don't think that you want to take them to a track that big.
No, the straight rails kind of fold up pretty hard.
Yeah. There's just nothing over there on that right side.
No. Speaking of straight rails, got to give a shout out to Ty Majeski. He won the Winchester 400.
He did.
Yeah. I like when he's one of those guys that whenever he can, especially with the truck schedule, you have more time
Leeway.
to
Flexibility.
more flexibility. And I like that he goes and does that. I think it keeps him sharp in the truck.
Good for
too.
Ty.
Yeah.
He'll be ready for Talladega.
Yeah, he's ready
just
to
in
rip.
a few days. Okay, welcome in everybody to episode 72 here on Happy Hour. Plenty to talk about leaving Las Vegas on the Cup Series side. Talladega is next. We have some good sips.
Yeah.
A special guest on the sips.
Oh, we got a
might add.
guest. Yeah,
We got a guest.
Oh, really?
Kind of cool. Yeah. All right, guys. So this race, the ending had some intrigue with differing strategies, 2 tires versus 4. A lot of aggression out of a certain driver at the end to try and make something happen. And it was Denny Hamlin, win number 66 on the year. What impressed you most about what you saw out of Denny?
Well, we asked the question several weeks ago when he had the run-in with Ty Gibbs. Was that going to be the downfall of Denny Hamlin's championship run? And that is not the case. It has just steamrolled right on. And we saw in qualifying the Gibbs cars were super fast again. And we got to the race, kind of started, and you're like, I don't know. Chase Briscoe was fast, and by the end of the race, though, and Denny Hamlin, you see the pass for the lead right here on Chase Briscoe, who was on 2 tires. He got into the wall a little bit earlier, the 19 did, and lost a little bit of pace in his car, but they rolled the dice and wound up with a decent finish for the 19 car. But that 11 was on rails at the end, and driver of the 11 is very determined right now to do all the things that he's doing. A lot of emotion after the race with everything going on in Denny's life, and you saw how important it was to get that 60th win. His dad's been ill, got the lawsuit going on, you got all the pressure of the championship, and you could just see all of it just hit him all at once. But those guys are on a mission right now for sure.
He tied you with 60.
He did.
He sure did. And I want to give credit, too, to his crew chief, Chris Gale, because he made a comment after the race saying how he got the car exactly how he needed. And people probably forgot, like, this came together in December last year. I don't think Denny or Gale knew they were going to be together. It was kind of last-minute decision. And Chris Gale has never even advanced out of the first round of the playoffs. Now he's going to the championship 4.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Gale he's had usually young drivers.
Correct.
He talked about that a lot at the beginning of the year. And now he's able to flex the muscle and all the knowledge that he's learned with somebody who knows exactly what they need and what they want out of their car, and maybe are a step even in front. And then Chris can work on something else while Denny's working on this part, right? That combination obviously is working. 6 wins that's a huge total.
It is.
They should be very proud of what they've accomplished this year. Denny hasn't been to the Final Four in a while. So having a shot at a championship is huge for that group. And I mean, we said it before. We said it last year. He's a walking Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Like he's going in. The driver that he is absolutely incredible. What he can do with a race car on track and putting people in compromising situations. And even when he was racing with Larson, you could kind of see like Kyle was doing a little bit of the same moves, but maybe not as close, and still gave him a lane, and he took the top. And then once he ran down the 19, it was like Chase was a signal. It's like, okay, let's go ahead, bro.
The thing I love about Denny Hamlin at this point in his career is his willingness to keep learning.
Yeah.
And you hear him talk about that, and you hear his crew chief talk about that. And when Denny talks about, I'm always learning something, there's nothing more true. And I think that if you're open and willing to be critiqued and learn and listen and take the things and apply the things that work for you, that I used to always, you guys have heard me say it before, evolve or die, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't evolve with the situation, our sport it evolves constantly as to what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't work. They change the tires, they change the horsepower, whatever it is. You have to constantly change what you're doing as to what works and what doesn't work. And I think that his commitment to the simulator and the sim and his team, I think that, Chris Gale's had a lot of young guys, but I don't think he's had the experience and the guidance and the leadership that you get from a Denny Hamlin type. I look at Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano as maybe the only 2 guys that can do it at the level that they are able to guide their team with what they need in the car and the commitment that it takes. I think Blaney's, committed. I think William Byron is committed, but they haven't seen as much. And you can't make up for that time in the seat with a team, with different teams, different people as to the way that things work. So experience and commitment, and just being a badass driver is hard to overcome that. And especially right now when those Gibbs cars are as fast as they are.
It's definitely a testament to his dedication. I think they said he spent 7 hours in the sim and had a list of 20 questions for Chris Gale going in about this race in particular. So it paid off. How advantageous, too, for the team. They're locked in. They have the next couple of weeks to prepare for Phoenix.
Well, you look at everything that they did for this race. I can't imagine how much time that they will put in for Phoenix. I don't think that, they have the strength in the cars that the Fords and things do for Talladega. I think that's almost a survival race for those guys. I think that the Chevrolets and Fords have better, faster cars for Talladega than what the Toyotas have. But I think when you look at Martinsville, Blaney's going to be good. I think that Denny Hamlin is always really good at Martinsville, and it just seems like that they have more pace at all the places except for Talladega. So it'll be interesting. I think if Bell can get himself into that championship 4, I think that those cars have the most speed right now. But the 5 and the 24 showed up this weekend with speed that we haven't seen out of those cars in a while. Kyle Larson leading a bunch of laps, putting himself in contention to win the race there at the end. William Byron obviously had the mistake, but he had speed all day. So I don't know if those guys, it seems like since St. Louis, those guys have found a little something to put themselves back into that speed conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll be interested to see how Denny decides to try to control the playoffs now, right? Because he's in the situation where he can, and like if there's one guy that you don't want to be able to have all the control, other than Joey Logano on the 22, is probably the 11, and because he's fast and he knows how to put you in compromising situations, he knows how to help somebody without being a detriment to himself. So how he decides to make moves over the next 2 weeks will be interesting. I'm very happy for him from the standpoint of his dad, because he talked about in post race in the conference room there. He's talking about how his dad sacrificed so much.
Oh yeah,
and that's how he was able to get there. And when I think about my parents and what it meant for my dad to be at just one ARCA race, let alone having your dad able to watch you go off and be a NASCAR Hall of Famer, like it just means a lot. So I'm really happy for him.
Because I think people forget, because Denny's been such a huge star in the sport for years, of his humble beginnings. And I remember interviewing him at Langley, where he started a lot of his career, saying how his dad had to take out all these extra lines of credit and mortgage and all these different things to help him race. And I'm sure you can relate to what it's like to come up the hard way and really earn it the tough way.
Well, I mean, you have so much respect for the achievements that you have. And I think that, there's a lot of things that lined up for the emotion of what we saw out of Denny Hamlin this week. But I think the passion that he has for the sport, you see it, whether it's the respect that his dad gave and the things that he gave for that situation, or it's the respect for always trying to make the sport better. Sure, he does it in his own unique way. But I think after the race, you really saw all that emotion, thanking the fans, not trying to instigate the fans. I mean, there was just a number of things that were very different when we saw, and cheers.
A lot of
cheers after the race. So, I think that balance of podcast controversy, lawsuits, and then you have the other side of the performance on the racetrack. I mean, you can't deny what he does in the race car. And so, I think that was, pretty awesome moment for Denny to get that 60th win, to put himself in the playoffs. And, right now he's the guy to beat when you get to Phoenix.
Yes, he is. So things came together for Denny. You referenced William Byron. I want to go to him next, because it was interesting at Kansas. They kind of limped through that race, mile and a half race. But they came to play when it came to Las Vegas. Very good car. Bizarre incident happened to him, though, with Ty Dillon, who was coming to pit road, but no one seemed to know this. There was no wave. There was no communication. How frustrating is this for a driver? See, this is why the one race to the championship thing sucks, because what if this was Phoenix and you're leading, something like this happens to prevent you from having a good result?
Well, there's a number of things that could have gone a lot better here. When they go back, the 10 car of Ty Dillon never put his hand out the window. Like when I was coming to the pit road, I always would kind of weave my car, put my hand out the window to make sure that the guy behind me knew I was coming. Now, the 10 spotter says that he told the 24 spotter, and the 24 driver says the spotter never told him. So there were a number of things that could have gone better right here in this situation, but the line was locked down to the bottom of the racetrack for the most part. And I think from William Byron's standpoint, he looked and saw the 10 car, 2 car lengths off the white line, which was pretty normal for pit entrance this weekend. I don't know about a car that's multiple laps down. Mm-hmm. He was out of the pit cycle of everybody else by 15 or so laps when he was pitting. So I don't think William didn't know he was pitting.
He said that in his interview
William
too,
didn't think he was pitting because of where they were at from the cycle, thinking it was done. And then all of a sudden, all that just compiled into a bad situation right there in a massive, massive wreck.
Yeah, no, that's probably the worst way to lose a race.
That's
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and like people are like, well, William could have. Why didn't he just move right? Well, like, let me tell you, when the car's all loaded up and you're fully in the throttle, if you go right, there's no bringing it back left before you hit the wall. So like, there was nothing he could really do.
He was too far into the situation to abort.
Yeah, to abort that. I absolutely hate that. And those are the breaks in sports. You can do everything right, and they did everything right. They brought a fast car, they executed well. He was doing what he was supposed to do, good stops. And sometimes it just isn't meant to be, and that's one of those situations. But because of the situation, they have 2 more races to make sure they lock in. They're only 15 points out, so they legitimately can point their way in or win their way in, and they could win either one of those.
And I think for me, the thing that really caught my attention when he was doing his post-race interview or at the medical center was just, it knocked him to his knees.
He was devastated.
Yeah, he was devastated. Said it, right?
Yeah, he did
And
say it.
It's just that time of year when the implications of something like that happening, and I think he feels like whether he knew or didn't know, it was his responsibility to not hit that car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough one to swallow there as you get into that scenario. So they'll rebound and be able to be ready for Talladega, and I think they'll be strong at Talladega.
Those are the situations that set someone up to go a minor setback, and then it really locks somebody in because you're like, I feel like that was taken from us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So go take one back.
And you heard him talk about it as well in his post-race interview, but he had just made a mistake, got loose, and lost the lead. So he lost control of the race. So it was
back-to-back.
2 errors, however you want to categorize them and who to blame them on, I don't know. But 2 back-to-back errors that he felt like were in his control.
Yep.
So William Byron is 15 points below the cut line. Further down from him is another playoff contender, obviously, Ryan Blaney, who had an early exit in the first stage after a left rear tire blew.
And your pick.
Those are both our picks, right? Byron,
No.
Didn't you pick Byron?
No.
Oh, you did? Oh, you were Briscoe. That's
Briscoe.
right. I knew it was
Yeah.
a B. Okay, so
You're close.
so how much panic mode do you think Ryan Blaney needs to be in? Does he?
Well, I think both of those Penske cars are in a hole points-wise, and there's only one winner next week. We expect the Fords to be the fastest cars when it comes to speed at Talladega and being able to push, and the Penske the lineup. So yeah, it definitely, the good news for Blaney, I feel like he can win at Talladega, and I feel like he could win it at Martinsville. So they have the capability to go out and win. It's going to be difficult to make up all those points at this point.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean, there
31
was a
below.
time not too long ago, it was death taxes and Ryan Blaney winning at Talladega fall race.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to reach back into that bag of tricks. And
The
win at
bag's been
fall.
gone for a couple
It's
years.
been gone for a couple years,
Yeah.
but it's not like they haven't. To your point, Kevin, it's not like they haven't been running up front. Like a lot of times when Ryan wrecks out at a super speedway, they're running up front and running well, and it's like it's honestly like mid race or like before the end. So I think for them, it kind of makes the path very clear, right?
Yeah.
Go win.
Sometimes it makes it easier.
It makes it easier.
Mentally, it makes it easier because of the fact that you only have one thing to worry about.
One option.
Yeah. I mean, typically with the way that they qualify and the speed that they have, they're going to score some stage points. And there's going to be a couple of these guys that probably don't score points in the playoffs in those stages. So I look for them to probably go after the points like they normally do in those first 2 stages, which, you might be able to cut 10, 12, 15
If you
points
can
off of
get
some of those
half
guys.
of it out.
It
before
at least gives
Martinsville.
you a better option for the end of the race first.
Yeah.
But at least gives you some sort of better option as you go to Martinsville. If you can cut that point gap from 30,
Deficit,
31
To like 15.
Yeah.
If you can go to Martinsville with 15 points down, you have
because you know
options.
you should run good at both of those racetracks. And as good as they were at Loudon, you would expect them to go and run well at Martinsville.
I think if it was me, I would go into this week and be like, because it's really it's up to the driver and the spotter at Talladega, right? Like it's those two guys that have to really get it done. So I'd be like, boys, be aggressive. Go get it done. Like, go get it done.
Which they always are.
Right.
Yeah.
The Fords are always very organized. They're good
Yes.
pushers. We know they will be strong. And like you mentioned, I'm sure Ryan feels the same way Byron does. Like one got taken from him.
And the hardest part about Talladega is just the fact that there's so many different agendas.
So many things going
So
on.
many agendas.
And everyone like feels like they can win, right? So
And they can.
Like, and they can. And you got like a Brad Keselowski. If I'm Brad, like, I feel like I should have won Atlanta. And if it's between me winning Talladega or pushing a Ford to advance in the playoffs, I don't know if I'm not just going to win for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to win for me first.
They need to win.
Because they need one.
And really, I think this is the only opportunity that the 6 car will have.
Yeah.
That remains,
But there's a whole bunch of those guys in that category. This is the only race at the end of the year here that you have a chance left to win.
Yep.
The rest of them, the other 3 are going to be, or 2 more, are going to be won by one of these playoff guys.
Yeah.
Kevin maybe giving a little precursor on his pick there. Dropped
maybe.
a subtle hint,
Yeah.
perhaps.
You never know.
You never know. So let's talk about Chase Elliott for a moment, because this team, just basic errors, unfortunately for them throughout the day. Well, first he went too far in his pit box, which kind of threw off the choreography of the
Easy
stop.
there, though. This is just one of those places where the pit boxes are super slick and slid all the way through that pit stall and kind of got everything out of sync right there on this pit stop. So we saw a few mistakes on pit road, but
Yes.
I think that the last one that the 9 had on pit road with the tire getting away from them and putting them a lap down and putting them behind and he never really recovered.
Recovered.
Never recovered for that. So it's just something so small can take you out of contention, but they had speed as well.
They had speed in like middle of the race. I'm like, dang, Chase and Allen in that group, they have really turned a corner.
Qualified good again.
Qualifying good, running
Seem to have that
mid race.
figured out,
I'm like, y'all might have a little something here
Yeah.
if you can get to Phoenix, but now they getting to Phoenix is gonna be
Well, and
for everybody.
another guy that's going to be, I would say that he'll be a contender this week.
I would think
at
you want
Talladega.
I would think you want to control the race. Or do you think if you're a guy that if you're a team that needs to win, I would think you want to be up front trying to control the race rather than waiting.
And a lot of that's going to start in qualifying, though,
Yeah.
and then it's going to come down to how those stages break up from a fuel mileage standpoint, and but I think that the Elliots, the Blaneys, the Logano's, you got to take the stage points and then see where all that falls before you worry about the rest of it.
Yep.
You got to take the points and then figure out how to get back to the front.
Yes, Chase Elliott currently 23 points below the cut line heading to Talladega. We should talk about his pick finally, Chase Briscoe. James Small, crew chief, made a gutsy call with the 2 tires there at the end. What did you think about the race the 19 put together?
I thought they put together, he led a bunch of laps early, put together a good race. He got into the wall there and they felt like it knocked the toe out. Whether it was front or back, I don't know. But the car lost a little bit of speed. They fell back 6th or 7th there
Yep.
On that run. And so it was a great call. It wound up gaining them some finishing spots. They already had capitalized on the stages beforehand. And there were several opportunities there where the 11 and the 5 could have wiped each other out.
Yeah.
It was a game of inches.
Yeah.
And I think that they gave themselves a chance with a car that wasn't the fastest car at the end by getting that track position. And James Small said that. He said, "Look, this we might
Might
wind
work,
up,
may not."
might work, might not. But that's what happens when you're in a position where you've had a good first 2 stages and you're in this playoff position with a car that's not capable of winning. At that point, you might steal one. We saw Joey Logano do it last year, and Logano stole some spots at the end of that race with the exact same call of 2 tires. He just didn't capitalize on it in the first 2 stages like Briscoe did. But those are the days that you got to have when it's not all going right and you don't have a car capable of winning. sometimes you can steal one.
I like that though. And James Small, I feel like is really starting to come into his own. Also, this pairing, we talked about Chris Gale and Denny, but these two seem to be the right match as well.
Yeah, they definitely that team has a different type of energy around it. Yeah, they have a different type of energy around it. And when you have somebody that comes in new that injects that and like wants to, again, we don't need to talk about it too much, but Martin was on his retirement and like he was ending his career. So the energy is different.
This is very true.
Right?
Yeah.
You're looking at things different. You want to win and all the things, but it's just different with how you're going about it. How Chase is trying to go about it is he's also on a show me, prove it deal.
Yeah.
He's in the mud trying to work on everything that he can. And obviously the speed and qualifying has been there all year, lightning fast. They've started to figure out how to put races together, been lightning fast. When the playoffs started, I said they are the most dangerous team in the playoffs because they have been just so quick, raw speed. And they've made, I think, up until like this part of the playoffs, I think they have like one of the top 3 most points gained. So they have been strolling through this thing. And that 2-tire move, when I was like, man, there's too many laps left. Like, it's not going to work. But it wasn't a work to win, really. It was a work to be better than they were. And it worked out.
And the way it worked out, they crashed right off the bat. So they burned, 6 or 7 more laps maybe more laps than that on the lap count to get to the end. So you never know. I mean, I've been there before and seen a couple crashes at the end, and then it winds up being 3 or 4 laps is all you got to run.
If the 5 and the 11, like if the guys behind them could have caught them and made it more of a battle, because he got passed with 8 to go.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that much more that he needed, and it almost worked out completely to where they stole the win. So roll of dice worked out.
Mentioned the big crash at the end. I did want to give some props to Mr. SVG. I know he had a handle in that last big incident there, but we've talked about his improvements on the ovals, and Justin Merckx was saying he feels like he's made a ton of gains. And SVG, when I interviewed him when you couldn't last week, he's like, my main focus the rest of the year is the driver. Is improving. He had a good run until that happened.
Yeah, he ran in the top 10, qualified well, ran in the top 10.
Out-qualified his teammates.
All day. And, I think that's definite improvement. And, I think that comfort level, but that's another guy that's like Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano that we haven't seen a lot because he hasn't raced here, but he has a work ethic and an ability to look at the data and study and watch and learn and apply it. And I think right here, he wasn't clear when they were 4 wide, kind of turned across the 20's nose right there and ultimately caused this wreck. But I don't know that you can blame that on anybody. It's just one of those late race restarts there where everybody's going for it. And racing
deal.
Yeah, just a racing deal there. But not only SVG, I think you got to give credit to the 48 car. Mm-hmm. They were super fast all day. Had a good run. Ty Gibbs had a great run all day and ultimately got caught up in this wreck at the end. So Tyler Reddick,
he was pushing.
They ran well this weekend for being out of the playoffs, but a few of those guys that weren't in the playoffs looking for that late season win were in contention there to have a chance.
Better late than never.
That's right.
They say, yes. Okay, so Las Vegas definitely gave us plenty to talk about. Now we're moving on, guys, as we mentioned, to Talladega, the Super Speedway. 2 races remaining in this round. Martinsville will be after that. So, well, we've touched on it a bit. This racetrack, unpredictability, what it presents for drivers as far as the challenges go.
I like, for me, the riding around strategy is gone. You can't ride around anymore. You've got to be able to race as hard as you can to put yourself as far forward as possible. The wrecks usually start at the front lately. With you push, and you just have to keep escalating that risk level until it's either too far or it works out in a positive way for you. So I just think that you have to just go for it. No matter what your points position is, you have to put yourself in a position to score stage points. You've got to be a good pusher. You got to control your spacing. See a lot of guys that get themselves, they'll catch them at the end of the straightaway and they get the timing of the corner off. There's some guys that are really good at it. Brad Keselowski is really good at it. Joey Logano is really good at it. And the Fords push better. But you've got to be able to push and shove and have a car that's stable enough to drive. That's the problem that the Toyotas and the Chevys have. they don't push well because of the way that their nose is shaped.
Yeah, a little pointy.
The Toyotas aren't as fast as the other two brands. I don't think the Chevy's quite as fast, not as big a deficit as the Toyotas have to the Fords. But I feel like once that it gets mixed up and you have that wreck that wipes out, 2 or 3 of the Fords that are in that mix, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's inevitable. There's too many different agendas at Talladega. You got the Ricky Stenhouses and guys that are in position, Brad Keselowski, that are in position to know that this is the one race that they have left to win.
Mm-hmm.
And this could make or break their season, to put their team in victory lane. So, but everybody in the field thinks that.
Everybody's got the same
Those
mindset.
guys have done it, and I think are capable of those two guys are capable of doing that. But so is Michael McDowell, guys, Todd Gillen, Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all, everybody's got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of how you position yourself and who misses the wrecks.
Do you guys think that we'll see a race more like we saw at Fall Daytona?
I hope so.
Because when the green flag dropped at Daytona under the lights, everyone was shitting and getting.
Yeah, but the unique part about Daytona is it's 100 miles less, and the way that those stages split up are a little bit different. Than I still think you're going to have to save some fuel at certain points during this race, but it depends on what those guys are doing that want to push the pace to keep themselves in position to score those stage points, right? I think you got to race the first 2 stages and then figure the rest of it out if you're those guys. But there are going to be some guys that save fuel and get to that last run that all of a sudden pop up and be in position to win the race that don't really care about stage points. Why would Keselowski care about stage points? Right. But the thing that we can't forget are there are guys that are still racing for points. All 16 of those guys can still finish 5th in the points.
The money change from 16.
Yeah, what it does
5th.
for your charter average and how you get paid is a big difference from 5th to 16th.
So when we're talking about all year long, because we don't ever talk about it, so this is probably the first time it's really brought up. All year long, everyone's like, well, it doesn't matter if you don't, if you don't make it to Phoenix. No, it definitely matters.
It definitely matters.
Because you're still racing for money and you're still racing for points position. You're still racing for your charter slot. And all that stuff matters because there's an average that you get and it puts you in a different tier and all these things.
It's a 3-year average of where you finish in the points over the last 3 seasons as to what your charter's worth, basically.
Yep.
That's how they pay out. Mm-hmm. And so, anytime that we would get knocked out of the playoffs, the focus immediately became, okay, we got to get 5th in the points because A, I want to make more money, and B, the team's going to make more money. And so, you can instantly motivate yourself with the difference of 5th and 16th when you look at the payout. It's not hard.
It matters.
It matters a lot.
It matters a lot.
And plus, I don't want to be 16th.
Who wants to be 16?
Yeah.
Who wants to be
no one wants to be 16.
Nobody does.
No.
This race, though, it's like you can have every plan in the world, right? And it could just all go out the window.
Usually once the green flag drops, the
plans are gone. Yeah.
At that point.
I've always found it interesting, though, how the Fords just seem to always have a little bit better of a plan in place for some reason.
It's easier to push with a Ford. It's easier to get pushed by a Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when you get pushed by a Chevy or a Toyota, it's not the same as being pushed by a Ford. It's squirrelier. Yeah. Cars move around more with the way that their cars are shaped. It's very difficult to push a Toyota because of the way that their cars handle and the way that their tail is shaped. It's super easy to spin them out.
It kind of has a bubble.
Yeah, it's super easy to spin a Toyota out. And from a Ford guy's standpoint, when you're pushing another Ford, you can be really aggressive in how you push that car compared to when you're pushing a Toyota, you got to think about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I wrecked Tyler Reddick one year at Daytona or Talladega, and just breathing on the back bumper spun him out. And that's typically the case with a lot of the Toyotas, and not as bad with the Chevrolets, but much harder for any brand to push those two brands. And any of the other two brands pushing a Ford is even not as effective because you just can't be as aggressive.
I'm really going to be looking at how, to your point, that extra 100 miles. Because if that is a big change in how they race, then I think that we should look at adjusting whatever it is, either the mileage or the stage breaks. Because I want what we got in Daytona, because that was 100% exactly what we want.
Yeah.
So if that is a major factor, then we need to look at just adjusting that a little bit, and maybe we can get closer
and you can tell when they're going and not going.
Yeah,
right? When it's 2 lanes, they're going.
Mm-hmm.
When it's 4 lanes, they're not going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's somebody that's saving gas and stirring things up to slow things down. So, it's very, at the end when they're all dicing all over the place, you're going to see them 3 and 4 wide briefly, but the bottom 2 lanes are still going to be the dominant lanes when they're all lined up pushing 100%.
I think it takes like 8 guys. 8 cars need to feel like they want to go and be trying to dice it up because that drags the rest of the people along with them.
Yeah.
If there's only like 4 guys, they're just kind of mixing up between themselves, and it's not as effective. But if there's like 8 cars that are trying to lead and be in the front and in position, I think that'll help.
And it's the same thing. Control what you can control. Don't beat yourself.
Don't beat yourself.
Don't speed on pit road. Don't have a pit road penalty. All those, don't go below the yellow line, whatever it is, just don't beat yourself.
Cannot speed on pit road here, especially under green flag, because that is it. Like, you might as well just pack up and get ready for Martinsville.
Yep. Okay, we'll have to see how it all transpires out there in Talladega. You mentioned adjustments. There's been an adjustment made. NASCAR competition officials announced that the target horsepower for Cup Series events at road courses and oval tracks less than 1.5 in length will increase to 750 in the 2026 season, which I thought Kyle Larson's comments about this were interesting because he said, don't over promote it. It's likely not going to fix everything. He said he did a test and no one told him that he had higher horsepower and he didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
So what do you think about all this?
Well, I think that I'm happy that they did it.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that they it's at least a step in the right direction.
Yes.
I think that listening to the feedback from the drivers, they don't notice the difference in the power, which, it's 80 horsepower on paper, right? And so 80 horsepower. And I think that says a lot about the amount of increase that it actually needs. Now, there's a counter argument to how much it would cost for everybody to go more horsepower than this. So my hope is they're looking to go more horsepower down the road as they look at how things evolve. But I don't think we'll. I'm happy that they did it. Kudos to them for giving the cars more horsepower. I don't want to knock it, but I don't think anybody will notice.
Okay, that's kind of what Larson was saying.
Yeah,
it's not a huge noticeable difference.
No, and like when I talked to Richard Childress about this at Homestead early on in the year, when this was a really big topic, he was like, "Brother, let me tell you that it is expensive. Like the money to do it is a lot. It's millions of dollars in R&D," and that's what the man said. So I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna discredit that. So if that's where we're at, where it's like how much horsepower to how much money, then then the industry needs to decide when
when are we going to get more?
Like how are we doing it? And Steve O'Donnell was on with Dale Jr. And they kind of got into this a little bit, where it's like, and you could kind of read the tea leaves a little bit. I felt like he was saying, well, we got a new brand coming in with Dodge is looking at coming in at the Cup level, is what it sounded like he was saying. He also made mention of Honda. So he was basically like, well, if we make this huge jump now and then it changes, the OEMs want a different engine package in 3 years, then we just cost everybody a dumb amount of money for no reason. I'm like, okay, if you're telling me that we have a path, that interview, I felt like was one of the more transparent and path leading out ones, because now we're not guessing. Yeah. At least like you told us, and we feel like we see where you're going, and then we'll see what kind of how we get there.
I wish they would be more open like that consistently.
Yeah, and he said that on there too.
And I thought Steve O'Donnell did a good job on Dale Jr.'s podcast. It's a good listen. If you haven't listened to it, you should go listen to the conversation between he and Dale, because it was very informative. But I think that if they want to be like this, they need to be like this all the time.
Lock it in.
It needs to be. Sometimes I know this is a situation where it would cost the teams a lot of money, but sometimes you just got to say, screw it, you're going to do it. This is what we're going to do because it's right for the sport. It can't always be about money. What point do we get back on track to say, okay, here's a path to where we want to be? What is that? But I think if we had a Dana White that was just,
don't care
about this, don't care about that. Yep, let's do this. That was great. Good job, bad job, you suck. Whatever it is.
Why'd you point at me?
Because you're in last.
You're last.
Because you're in last.
You can't say I suck. I'm walking him down right now.
You know, I think that being in front of things and just being open about it and not trying to be so secretive and all the things that it seems like they've done in the past, that openness and honesty, you don't have to think about what you said or what you did. Just say, oh, that was good, that was bad, whatever it is. Be more open like that. People love it and people like it. They are informed. Tell us where we're going. What are we doing? How are we fixing it? You know, I think that the horsepower is great, but it's not going to fix it. So
no, we got to keep
it's not going to fix it all the way.
No, you got to keep making moves, and there's aero stuff that you got to work on. The tire thing, we just barely feel like we're starting to understand. So when you make these adjustments with horsepower and aero,
well, it's just like this weekend,
tire?
right? Like Kansas was a fantastic race, you know, and this was the upgraded construction change with this tire. It wasn't like Kansas. It was a great ending,
right?
And you know the race was great at the end, and it was exciting, which is what we want. So yeah, I just think that different tracks, they've taken the tire codes and made less of them to try to make them work at a lot of different tracks. I feel like the reason that we got to so many different tire codes in the past was because all the tracks are
different.
They have a lot of characteristics that the other one, like Kansas and Vegas, they don't mirror each other, right? Like it's just there's some differences there that might require some change. They're basically wide open in qualifying through 1 and 2. Had to lift a little bit in 3 and 4 this weekend, so they're still too slow.
You get a hard winter at some of these places that change that racetrack a lot when you get there.
No one solution fits all.
Hey,
but they are making what?
No, did you hear what OD said about Kevin?
No. About the show?
No. He said Kevin Harvick one time came up to me and said, "Look, man, if you should be in your position, you should be the most hated person in the industry."
Yeah.
And he said that's a hard thing. He said that's a hard thing. Like that's a hard thing as a human being to. But he like gave credit to like because you're making all the hard decisions.
Yeah.
And so
somebody's got to make them. And when you're publicly open about those hard decisions, like he was in this particular instance about all the things that he addressed, what are people going to say?
And people respect that.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
I mean, don't hide. And don't hide. And Steve's been around the sport long enough that he can talk knowledgeably about it. He has a lot of conversations, has been around the sport a long time. It's just sometimes, you know, you go back to the Brian France piece of it and all those things where, you know, he would get up there and talk about some of the stuff and you're like, what in the hell is he saying? I have no idea what you're talking about. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I think that Steve O'Donnell has that credibility. And even Phelps kind of struggled with that credibility from
the racers,
from the competition side, as far as what was going on, what was not going on, because he wasn't in the middle of it all the time like O'Donnell has been. So I just feel like, you know, that was a good, the horsepower thing is a good step. I don't think it should be the end of it. I don't think it's going to fix it all. It's definitely not going to hurt. But I love the way that they approached all of the topics that he was handed.
Yes.
Dale threw it at him.
Things are changing.
Yeah. He didn't back down. So
yeah, very good. Okay, so that's all the serious stuff. Time now for the non-serious. This is when my partner takes over.
Oh.
Hello, world.
Flappy Sips.
Welcome to Mamba's Social Sips, your favorite part of the program. What, Kevin?
Well, I just had this old guy flashback. I just, and I don't know where the world is at with this person, but I had this Arsenio Hall moment right there where I don't know. I just looked over and I'm like, oh man, hello world.
Hello world. Good.
Hello world.
I'm glad I could do that for you. Listen, friends, family, closers from Australia, New Zealand.
What about Mexico?
Mexico.
Yeah.
New friends in Mexico.
New fans over there?
We had.
Thought you did.
Yeah, I made new friends in Mexico City and then again in Cancun.
Yeah.
We got friends all over the place. Listen, welcome to my segment, Mamba Social Sips. And to start it off, guys, we have a video game that is dropping. NASCAR 25 is coming out. I think it's out right now, actually. And our great people at Fox Sports are doing a little article about your top, your favorite, what are the best racing games ever made?
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, did you ever play a game? Did you ever play much of the racing games?
I spent so much money on racing games because when I was a kid, they were not as cool as they are now with NASCAR 25 and iRacing and all the things that are the premier racing games in today's world are not like Super Sprint and Ivan Stewart's Off-Road. And I grew up with an Intellivision. Most of you listening probably don't even know what that is. Have you ever heard of that? No. Have you heard of an Intellivision game system?
It was like in the TV?
No.
Okay.
No.
He said in television, right?
In the TV.
He said
the TV took
right?
5 minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
So what is it? Explain what that is.
Well, an Intellivision is like an Atari or a Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it had like this little round pad on it, and then it had like numbers, like a telephone on it.
Oh, I saw that before.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like an antique.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah, I've never used
so
it.
my game growing up when I first started playing video games on the Intellivision was Astro Smash.
Astro Smash.
Oh no, I do remember that.
You
game.
don't.
Yeah, wasn't
You're not even thinking of the right one.
Isn't that the one with the
rocks?
You're shooting it.
But it's
rocks?
a different name. The one you're thinking of, but probably not on the Intellivision. But
okay, that's close.
So I played a lot of video games when I was a kid. Mario Kart. We would miss school. We would skip school. Our parents would go to work, and we'd act like we were going to school, and then we just bail out of school and we'd sit and play Mario Kart all day.
That's awesome.
Wow, between his senior trip and his skipping school for video games.
Kevin went to Mexico for his senior trip.
Yeah. I've had a lot of video games. I had in my KHI shop, we had Ivan Stewart's Off-Road.
Yep.
We had 4 Daytona USA machines.
Yep, that was a great game.
Super Sprint.
Yep.
I spent a lot of money on Super Sprint. And to this day, I still have a Super Sprint machine. So RC Pro-Am, that was a good one on Nintendo.
Okay.
And Excite Bike. You ever heard of Excite Bike?
Is that the one you had at your house that Keelan whooped my ass on?
No.
Okay.
Excite Bike was like on the original Nintendo. It was like a motorcycle game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you could make your own tracks. And,
that's cool.
That's actually kind of cool.
would overheat.
So the games that are on the list are Mario Kart 8, Cruisin' 8. There's a lot of Mario Kart.
This is like
the list of their
games.
Yeah.
They the list of greatest racing games that they think.
That they have. Yeah, that they have.
So mine didn't make the list because they weren't born.
Well, yeah. Cruisin' USA, Need for Speed, Gran Turismo, F-Zero, Outrun, Daytona USA, Pole Position, Ivan, Iron Man, Stewart's Super Off-Road, and R4 Ridge Racer Type 4. I think that 2 that Caitlin that need to be in there is Dirt to Daytona and Chase for the Cup 2005. That our guy. Then look at that smile.
I got a couple covers. I got a couple covers, right?
Yeah, 2.
What year?
05
and NASCAR Heat 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the first one was EA Sports.
Yeah, it was EA.
And it was the EA Sports Cover Jinx.
Yeah.
Nice.
05. That was a tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say though, that game, so much fun. The story mode was great. I think they used Kevin because you guys had KHI and you guys were like one of those groups that were like going from driver to owner, and you had like the modified you could run. You know who was on that game? Matthew Martin. Mark Martin's.
Really?
Matt Martin was in that game. It was a good game. So anyway.
There you go.
So what do you think the best game is?
Oh man. My
and is this NASCAR 25 is probably going to blow them out of the water.
NASCAR 25, I saw the beta. Like I played it a little bit. The AI, the experience it's pretty cool.
Crazy part. So it's evolved into iRacing.
Yes.
So when all this first started, Sierra was the name of the gaming company, I believe. And they would send us all these discs for the computers to put them in, and you'd play them on your PC with this like little mini steering wheel from your game, and so we used to always get the updated games. But think about it, that was in the late '90s when all that started. When we first started getting the video games, late '90s, early 2000s, right in there, whatever that time period was. But where it was compared to where it is pretty unbelievable. Insane how it's progressed.
I think my favorite is that 05 game. The total team control aspect and the storyline of building up from nothing and owning teams. I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Do you still play video games?
Yeah. I haven't played a racing game for real in a while. When Forza brought NASCAR back into their like
fold.
In their fold.
Yeah.
I started playing that again, but I play a lot of NCAA.
Yeah.
I'm in like year 2013 39.
So you don't play any of the new video games like the Fortnite or anything like that?
No, I don't play Fortnite.
I got you.
No, I'm an old school. I'm a traditional guy.
Traditional.
So make sure you go check out foxsports.com and you can check out that article. And they got the breakdown and you guys can decide if they're right.
What's the game for you? I hadn't heard of half of those games.
Out of that list, I remember like the Daytona USA one was always really fun.
Yeah, but like the Ridgeline and the, what did you say, F-Zero?
F-Zero. I think that sounds like a F1 game. Okay. They have like the P0.
The F1 games were always pretty good on.
They were pretty good.
I need to start playing games. That's what I've learned from this entire conversation.
Yeah. Take your kids to Chuck E. Cheese and go play some arcade
Chuck E. Cheese, you can fill them full of germs.
Okay, Dave and Buster's.
Yeah,
go to Dave and Buster's. Actually, Dave and Buster's is way better. That one and the Ivan, the off-road racing. I remember using that one.
The only reason I got rid of my Ivan Stewart off-road games is because you couldn't get parts for them anymore. I had full-size arcade machines.
Oh, wow.
But I do have all the original Nintendos. Now they come in a little make-believe Nintendo with a chip inside of it that has all the games, so you can play all the original Nintendo games. Yeah. So if you ever want to come over and play games,
that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, we just invited you over.
Listen, contrary to popular belief, Kevin loves me. Okay, Kevin loves me. All right,
come on, Slappy.
Moving along. Speed it up. We got a guest, guys.
Oh, really?
That I'd like to bring into the show right now. Let's roll it with our new guest here.
Yo, Mamba Smith, I heard we're teammates at Fox Sports, and you're the chief vibes officer for NASCAR. What's this I hear about a Games with Names Daytona car wrap? Let's make this happen, Bubs.
I love that he called you Bubs.
What's he talking about?
Listen,
what is this?
So this year I didn't.
Who was that first off?
That was Julian Edelman.
Okay.
Patriots Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Super Bowl MVP, multi-time Super Bowl champ, and my guy.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously one of our teammates here at Fox.
Fox analyst.
Fox analyst on the NFL. So he, I invited a friend to Phoenix and he wanted to bring a couple of his friends. A couple of his friends happened to work on the Games with Names podcast with Julian. Okay. And I showed them a wrap design that I had made a while ago, like in 2015 or 16, that I was trying to run at Loudon. And it was a Patriots and American Cancer Society combination. And it just kind of fell through. But I showed it to him because I had the 11 on it. I'm like, hey, if you guys would ever want to like do something at the racetrack and be on a car, like let me know. I didn't race this past year. And that really bothers me. And so I've been wanting to run Daytona in the ARCA car for a while.
Okay.
So I pitched Julian on running the ARCA race at Daytona. We are looking for some partners.
Oh,
so you're gonna actually try to do this?
I'm gonna. Yeah, no. We're gonna go run.
So we're gonna see that paint scheme.
We're gonna not that scheme. It'll probably be something different if I had to guess, but who knows? But yeah, Games with Names.
I've seen a few of them. I've seen a few of them give it a whirl. I think you'd be okay.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
You could be in the mix.
Listen.
Hey,
it can't be harder than IRP in the middle of the summer.
I think your biggest issue would probably just be getting tired.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get more tired than I did at IRP.
Not tired from driving, just hot. Then you get tired.
No.
Hydrated.
We got the cool suits now, though. I used my first cool suit at Daytona in the road course race when I drove this Miata. That was a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
I was like a brand new person all over again.
This sounds like something that will need to be a whole feature because now you're tying into the Fox NFL side. That ARCA race is usually on Big Fox.
It's on Big Fox.
We could have a whole thing with the two of you on this.
So, we had a little call.
Kevin out there coaching you.
I think that'd be awesome. We had a little call. And
you don't want me to spot.
You.
They have another podcast called, it's like called Dude with Dudes or something. It's him and Gronk. Gronk has been to the racetrack a bunch.
Yes,
he's a monster.
Him at the 500.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a monster energy athlete. He was in Victory Lane when Kurt won the 500. So
look at him just making things happen.
Hey, Kevin said he was going to support it.
There you go.
Did he say that?
Driver coach.
Driver coach.
Yeah.
And bush lights after the race.
Yeah. Does that mean that we're going to work on your physical fitness routine leading up to the race?
Yeah, I'm down. You gonna help me out?
Yeah. I mean, you think you can run more than 2 minutes?
Yeah.
We need to film like a Rocky episode leading up to this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
This is taking on a whole life of its own.
I know. You never know where this is going to go. All right. Moving right along. We got, you guys know that popular driver votes coming on?
Yes. Most popular.
Right. Most popular driver for all the series. Connor Zilic, Jesse Love, homies. They are so funny together. they have this little back and forth going on. So essentially, I think Jesse asked Connor if he was going to vote for him. And he said absolutely not. Like he wasn't going to like help support him. And then Jesse made this little AI skit of Connor.
Oh, I thought he used a filter or something.
Yeah, AI filter, whatever it was.
Okay.
And it's kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Did you see the one that the guy did with Taylor Swift the other day?
No.
Oh yeah, he's talking in the background and he's showing what I mean. He's making all the motions and everything, and it looks just like her with all of his motions.
Look, watch this video of Connor that Jesse made.
Hey guys, vote for Jesse Love in Most Popular Driver Award. Hey guys, vote for Jesse Love in Most Popular Driver Award.
Sounds like Lee Diffie.
It's so creepy. But, I guess creepy. Connor says vote for Jesse Love.
There you go.
So there you go.
I actually won that one year.
How?
The most popular driver.
What series?
In the Busch series.
Oh, okay.
2001.
I know it wasn't Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was Bill Elliott, Dale Jr., Chase Elliott.
That is it.
That's pretty much it.
That's the list.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Leave a voicemail, 805-317-4175. Or if you want a mailbag question, harvickhappyhour4@gmail.com. We appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Mamba's Social Sips.
Welcome. It's ending now. All right, we're moving on to last call.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, new customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio. NASCAR is not responsible for this promotion and used under license.
So, Kevin, before we get into our picks for this week, let's take a look at the best bet of the weekend, courtesy of DraftKings.
Pretty good one this week. Plus 450 with Denny Hamlin. So, I mean, for a guy that's strolling like he's strolling right now, that was a pretty good pick. So, if you bet on Denny Hamlin, you won some money. Take the checker flag with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Harvick. That's code Harvick for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and win your first bet. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Where is it?
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
We have a new crown today.
Crown.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, guys.
Ticket.
Charlotte FC hat. Crown.
There you go. Okay. Very nice.
Got it.
From the other week.
Yeah.
All right. It's time
Did you blow that up yourself? You're full of hot air.
Full of hot air.
Speaking of that, let's grade the burnout, guys, for Denny Hamlin in Las Vegas, because he did 2 of them, technically.
Oh, I think this is a top 3 burnout.
Really?
Okay.
It's got to be. I think that I have never seen this before, somebody doing a burnout in their pit stall.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That,
cool
to me, my friends, is what you need for creativity.
Yes.
Creativity is as much a part of the burnout, but the burnout was really good as well. I don't think it's quite
SVG
I don't think it's quite Bowman Gray or SVG, but
the creativity was high.
Yeah.
And I love that the guys got to be right a part of it. It added to the emotion. And then this part, when
there was 3 phases to it.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. And then when he did it into victory lane, this is my only thing about this. I know my eardrums would have been
I've been there. I was there when Riley Herbst won in the Xfinity race and went to victory lane and just the revving of the engines inside of there, I feel like I can't hear as well to this day. It is so loud in that little area where victory lane is in Las Vegas with all the fan zone right there. It is so loud when you do that, but looks cool.
Looks cool. High marks for Denny Hamlin. We know he's probably paying attention to the show and listening.
What's the grade?
I don't know.
Where are you putting him?
Top 3.
I think it's third.
Okay.
I think that one's third.
Okay.
There you go.
Just because of the burnout was really good. We've seen a lot of good burnouts, but I think in the pit box, I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah.
I don't know that NASCAR would love that, but if that continues.
You only could do it like right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's third.
It was different.
It was different.
Third, and I am third, apparently, in the standings. We got Kevin at 48.
You're last.
Mamba 43, and I'm 27. 0 points for me picking Blaney. He picked Briscoe. Kevin picked Bell. So picking up more points for the 2 of them. Now it's time to make our selections for Talladega.
You're last. You go first.
I go first? Okay. I want to go with a Ford, and I just want to pick Blaney again because I'm hoping he has some sort of redemption for himself.
Yeah.
And I think he's a solid choice there. But I thought that last week too, and we saw what happened.
No, he's finished in the 30s the last 2 times, but go ahead.
No, wait. I had the best finish last week.
You're second in the points.
Okay, fine.
You each picked up 6. So go ahead.
Yeah.
So, Ryan Preece.
I like it. There you go. Congrats to him
Preece.
on the baby, by the way.
I'm going to go with William Byron.
Very good.
Okay.
See, he didn't pick a non-playoff
Yeah, I tried
guy.
to misguide you guys.
You took the bait. I didn't.
It wasn't a bait. It wasn't bait because, Ryan's been really close. And I think that their group is really locked into the super speedway and winning. I think a Keselowski Roush car is going to win. I think.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Well, 14% of fans picked Denny Hamlin this week. We encourage the fans to keep joining us with their picks. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to link in the description of the podcast. So we'll see what happens in Talladega. So you mentioned ARCA earlier. You have special guests.
I do. This is going to be fun. I have Bill and Billy Venturini.
Love that.
And they recently sold their 40-some-year team to Nitro Motorsports and Nick Tucker and his group. But they ran the West race last weekend, and that was their last race. And I just thought it would be fun to hear their stories and just how it all feels now that they're done. After this is all they've done for so
Their
long.
lives,
yeah. I mean, it's your livelihood. So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Yes, we all are.
Stoked. I got to drive for that team at Toledo a couple years ago. It was top. Because, if you wanted to race, you want to be good, you had to go through Venturini's at some point. Everyone did it. And to be able to drive their stuff was cool. And real quick, shout out to my parents. It's their 46th anniversary.
There you
go.
So love you, Mom and Dad.
Very nice. All right, guys. That does it for this episode of Happy Hour. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a review. Send some mail to Mamba. And we'll see everybody after Talladega.